All right, another news on Tuesday. Thousands of people in Rafah were seen rushing a U.S.-backed group's aid distribution site, pushing each other, breaking lines to get their hands on basic necessities. The disturbing scenes emerged days after the partial easing of a total aid blockade on the territory that Israel had imposed since March 2nd, which led to severe shortages of food and medicine. The United Nations called the images from the scene heartbreaking.
Turning to the situation in Gaza, and I can tell you that we have been watching the video coming out of Gaza around one of the distribution points set up by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, and frankly, these images are heartbreaking to say the least. As the Secretary General noted last week, we and our partners have a detailed, principled, operationally sound plan supported by member states to get aid to desperate population. We continue to stress that a meaningful scale-up of humanitarian operations is essential to stave off famine and meet the needs of all civilians wherever they are.
The aid center was run by U.S.-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. U.S. claims over 8,000 food boxes have been distributed so far, with each box feeding over 5 people for 3.5 days, totaling more than 460,000 meals. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu acknowledged loss of control momentarily, but added more aid distribution points will be set up in Gaza despite the chaos that unfolded.
Well, we tried the first one. We're going to put many today. There was some loss of control momentarily. Happily, we brought it back under control. We're going to put many more of these. And the idea is basically to take away the humanitarian looting as a tool of war of Hamas, to give it to the population, eventually to have a sterile zone in the south of Gaza where the entire population can move for its own protection.
He called Gaza the biggest open-air jail in the world, adding that Gazans want to leave the Palestinian territory but are unable to.
People want to leave, but they can't. So it's the biggest open-air jail in the world. As far as we're concerned, we'll let anybody leave. If you want to leave, leave. But they can't.
The conflict has been ongoing since October 2023. Flares and explosions were seen lighting up the Gaza skyline on Tuesday. The Israeli military said its troops fired the warning shots in the area outside the center and that control over the situation was established. With conflict in the region only escalating and civilians paying the price, when will a truce be reached? When will normalcy return in the region is to be seen.